Okay, now please turn to page 127. So that's where we left up last time. Okay, so let me write down the formula to use. This is called A-YDY-NKUST law. The notation used in the textbook is not that easy to understand, so I'm going to use a different notation. So here it is YF. So what is YF? It is full employment production level. Okay, YF, full employment production level. Okay, and then minus Y. Okay, this Y is the actual income. Okay, and then here you have equal to, okay, U minus UN, okay? So what's the difference? In the textbook, it uses Y bar, okay, use Y bar. And here is also Y bar, and then this is U bar. Okay, what does that mean? So Y bar means full employment production level, and Y is the actual production level. And so here is equal to 2, right? 2 bracket U minus UN. So what is U? U is the unemployment rate. Okay, U is the unemployment rate. And UN, it is natural rate of unemployment. Okay? Can anyone tell me what is the natural rate of unemployment? Sorry. Okay, Huang Yufeng, can you tell me what is the natural rate of unemployment? Right, it includes 2 items. So it is frictional unemployment, right? And structural unemployment. But employment includes 3 items: frictional, structural, and cyclical, right? So unemployment rate minus natural rate of employment rate, actually this is equal to cyclical unemployment rate. Unemployment. Okay? Okay, so what does this mean? If this production level is greater than this one, right? Okay, if this, okay. If the production level is actually higher than the full employment production level, what does that mean? Unemployment will go down, okay? If actual production level is greater than full employment production level, what does that mean? Unemployment rate will go down. So, A-YDY-NKUST law basically says that if the production level is not high enough, okay, if the production level is not high enough, what you get? You will get increase in unemployment rate, okay? If the production level is lower than the full employment level, what would you get? You will get unemployment, okay? And the relationship is 2 times this one. So it is 2 times cyclical unemployment, okay? Because this rule was found in 1970s, okay? It is found in 1970s, so it does not necessarily hold now. Means that it could not be true, okay? It could not be true. And also, we say this is a rule of thumb. Rule of thumb. It means that it's not a rigorous like the law of supply or the law of demand. It is called law, okay? But here it's called just a rule, okay? So it's different. It's not always true, okay? And another issue is that this is about America, okay? It's not Taiwan, it's not Japan, is not Philippines, Thailand, okay? So it could be true in the US, but even now, at this point, it's not quite right. So for example, oftentimes we say oil crisis, right? When oil price increase, okay, price of oil increase, okay, you're gonna get income gonna go down, right? But it has been quite a while, okay? And technology advances, okay? Technology advances. And also, we had a lot of substitutes. It means that in 1970s, we rely maybe 80%, 90% on oil, natural gas, and coal, okay? But at this point, it's totally different. I will give you one example. So in, say, 2004, okay? In 2004, I got a car, okay? And it consumes a lot of oil. So 1 liter of gasoline, it only runs 6 km, okay? So it means it's very wasteful, right? Because you get 1 liter of gasoline, you only get 6 km. And now it is 2024, right? 2024, 20 years, right? I got a car and 1 liter of gasoline. How many miles it get? I mean, kilometers. It get 20. So what I'm telling you is that the same price increase, the impact is going down, right? Because in the past, if I get 1 liter of gasoline, it only gives me 6 kilometers, right? 6 km. But now, the same oil, the same gasoline, I can run 20 km. That's more than 3 times of that, right? So it means, okay, the impact will be different, okay? The same amount of increase in oil prices actually has different impact, okay? Basically, that is the story there, because we have so much, advances in technology, and so everything is going to be different, and no one, okay, follow A-YDY-NKUST to do the experiment, okay, or do the study again to see what's going on, okay? And so because of that, here we still mention A-YDY-NKUST law, telling you about the relationship between production level and unemployment, okay? Production level and unemployment. The basic idea is that the more you produce, okay, the more you produce, the less, okay, for the unemployment rate. Okay, the more you produce, less for the unemployment rate. And if the less you're going to produce, okay, you produce less, okay, basically means that demand is not enough, and then you're going to have what? Unemployment. Okay, that's the basic idea. But is it exactly 2 or maybe 1/2, right? Okay, suppose as technology goes up, right, in advances, so these 2 could be go down to 1.5 or maybe just 1, right? But we don't know, because at this point, no one, try to study again and to see what's going on. And as I say, this is for America, because the study was done in America. So in Taiwan, no one knows for sure. Also, let's talk about unemployment rate, natural rate of unemployment. For different places, okay, you have different kind of scenario, okay, you have different environments, different distances, all these things. So, for each society, okay, for each economy, the natural rate of unemployment is quite different, okay? So let us say, for the US, okay, the unemployment is something like 5%, okay? But Taiwan is something like 3.5%, okay? Singapore, maybe just 2%. Okay? Why? Because Singapore is just a small city, right? A very small city. If you find a job at the other end of the city, what would you do? You just go there, right? Because, if you take a bus, just less than 1 hour, maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, okay? So there's no difference. And so, but for us, it could be different. Chen Jiekai, where is your hometown? Okay? Tainan. If you find a job in Taidong, the east end, right? Will you go there? No, right? Why? Why not? Too far away. What about Taipei? No? You won't go Taipei either. So what about Kaohsiung? Will you stay? Will you go there? Yes. Okay. So, some people may have this kind of preference. Okay, you don't like the east side, okay, but some people really prefer to get to the northern side, okay, Taipei or New Taipei City. But if you go to Taipei or New Taipei City, what will you see? You see the rent is very high, right? But basically, a lot of people, when you have a job, you just get it, right? Most likely people do that. But as I say, different people have different preferences, and so different kind of environment, and also wages, right? Okay, so it all matters. But the point is, okay, in Taiwan, okay, a small island, if you get a job, just 40 kilometers away, oftentimes people would just take it. Of course, when I mentioned Taidong, it's different because there are really just two ways you can get there, right? One is railroad, right? Is not that many, right? Not very many trains. Or you can drive, and the road condition is really very tedious, okay? But if it is in Taichung or Zhanghua or these places, I would guess people would just take it, okay? And if you look at America, right, is a huge city. Huge country, and for the east side and the west side, northern side, southern side, the difference is just so dramatic. Okay, if you go to Florida, the weather is something like Taiwan. Okay, very humid, a lot of hurricanes, this typhoon. Okay, and if you stay in California, and also the property there, okay, when I mention property, okay, it means what? It means the housing market, okay, and a lot of things. So it's so different. For example, if you go to New York, the housing is just crazy. Very, very expensive. And if you want to stay in town, gosh, you have to pay a lot of money. And so a lot of people cannot afford it. Okay, so the same thing in California. The property price in the California is also very, very expensive. And if you go to Midwest, it's something better. But in the Midwest, what would you have? You have very cool winter, very cool. Sorry, I should use cold rather than cool. Very cold winter, freezing, okay, freezing. So, that's difference there. Okay, let's move on. So we get to formula was 3.5, okay? Formula 3.5. And they modified it a little bit, so you get 3.6. Let's forget about 3.6. We just focus on 3.5. And the notation is something like that, okay? A little bit different. I think use YF is better than Y bar, okay? Okay, because this chapter, it talks a lot about microeconomics, like production function and the role of labor and capital. And we won't put too much emphasis on that. And honestly, the midterm does not have much about this. Okay, the midterm does not have much. But as I told you, right? If I put it on the blackboard, it means that most likely you will be in the test. So that one will be there. Okay. Okay, let's move to chapter 4. Okay, consumption, saving, and investment. When we talk about consumption, what do we have? We say okay, so we say Y from the perspective of a person, okay, a household, C plus S, right? And from the viewpoint of a business, it is C plus I, right? So the equilibrium of the economy is I is equal to S, okay? And then we have several variations. So we add, okay, C plus S plus T, we add government, right? So then you have C plus I plus G, okay? With government, you have government expenditure, and with government, you also have taxation. So then we say S plus T minus G is equal to I, right? And we further added open economy. Open economy means that the country engages international trade with other countries. So what we have S plus T minus G equal to I plus X minus M, right? And this one, okay, is called net. Okay, net export. And this one is export, and this one is import. Okay. And actually, we focus a little bit more because consumption is equal to C naught plus MPC Y little d. And what is Y little d? It is equal to Y minus T, okay? And we say in the first model, okay, lump sum tax, we say T is equal to a number, let it be T naught. And in the second model, T is equal to a tax rate, so T times Y, okay? So in the midterm, we're gonna have the first model, okay? For the final exam, we would have the second model, okay? And then from there, what do we have? You know, this textbook, a little bit, different from what we usually have in Taiwan. So then we would have expenditure multiplier. So can anyone still remember that? Yang Junxiang. No, it will be in the test. Liu Jiajie. It is equal to 1 over 1 minus NPC, right? Okay. And then we have also tax multiplier. It is equal to 1 over, MPC, negative, right? Negative, because tax goes up. Okay, tax goes up, your income goes down. And so 1 minus MPC. Okay, even though this one will not be covered in midterm, but it will be in the final. So it is 1 over 1 minus MPC and 1 minus T. Okay, look at your note. Okay, supposedly you have taken note, when we discuss it. And then tax multiplier is negative MPC, 1 minus MPC, 1 minus T. And, suppose you couldn't quite remember what's going on. You can check the other textbooks, okay, written by Taiwanese, like my textbook, or any other textbook in Taiwan. Most textbooks have all this information, okay, how to derive expenditure multiplier and tax multiplier, two different models. Okay, this is the basic model. Tax is a lump sum number. Okay, tax is just a number, it's a lump sum. And then the second model, tax is a tax rate. Okay, this is the tax rate. Okay, questions? Okay, and then consumption function is equal to C naught. What is this? This is called autonomous consumption. Autonomous consumption is something that is not related to income. Okay, and this is called induced consumption. Okay, it will be affected by income. The more income you have, the more consumption you have. Okay, but in this section, okay, chapter 4, supposedly, if it is in Taiwan, we will talk a little bit, a lot more about all these. But the textbook that we use mention very little about this. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so page 139, consumption and saving. Okay, so there, consumption and saving, that's the equation there. Okay, and let us see to page 140. Okay, page 140. Now you get to something similar that we have, right? It said equation 4.1. Okay, equation 4.1, SD is equal to Y minus CD plus G. Minus G. Because the notation is a little bit different, so I hesitate to use his notation. Just stick to mine. Okay, just use mine. Okay, and I don't want to confuse you to talk about SD. Okay, and all these. Basically, that's the way you have. Okay, and then page 141. It says effect of changes in current income. Okay, so because we are talking about Keynes model, okay, so the idea is that, if consumption goes up, income will go up, okay, and the reason is what we have told you before. Okay, let us say you increase consumption by 1,000, okay? And you go to the market to spend it, right? Some people may get this business, and so he earns $1,000. Now his income increases by $1,000. How much is going to spend? This is 1,000 times MPC, okay? This is the amount he's going to spend, right? Basically, based on the idea of Keynes. And another person will take this business and earn this much, right? And what are you going to do? You're going to do, so this is the amount you get, and then he will spend this out of it, okay? So this is the impact of consumption, okay? This is the impact of consumption. On the contrary, right? Keynes' basic idea is that you don't save. The more you save, the more the economy is going to get hurt, right? Okay, so if you save too much, what is going to happen? The economy is going to go down. And so that's called paradox of thrift, right? Remember that? Paradox of thrift. And if you check this, you know what's going on, because the expenditure multiplier is 1 over 1 minus MPC. It is equal to 1 over MPS, right? So the smaller the MPS, the higher this number, right? So if this goes down, this is going to go up, right? So it means you do not save too much, okay? And the other thing is that if C goes up, okay, or G goes up, or I goes up, income will all go up, okay? Income will all go up. But what about tax? If tax goes up, Y goes down, okay? Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so the interesting thing, it says that effect of changes in expected future income, that is related to R, okay, interest rate, okay, that is, so R will also affect C and I, okay, and how? So I will erase this. Okay, remember when we talk about the rigidity of prices, right? We also talk about the rigidity of wage rate. At that time, we say wage rate goes up. What will happen? You're going to work more or work less, right? If you're going to work more, what does that mean? That means it is substitution effect. Okay? If you're going to work less, what is that? That is income effect. Okay, so that's based on microeconomic analysis. Okay, so sometimes income effect will outweigh substitution effect. So when your income goes up, when your wage rate goes up, sometimes you actually work less rather than work more. But in terms of macroeconomics, so this is for micro, okay, for micro. But in terms of macroeconomics, what do we say? We say if wage rate goes up, people work more. Okay? So what about tax? If tax goes up, it makes you feel poor. So that's substitution effect. Okay? You're going to work less. Because the more you work, you have to pay tax out of your pocket, right? And so that discourages people from working. Okay, so if tax rate goes up, actually is not good for the economy. So you see, when the government wants to encourage people to work, what do? Cut tax. And also, right, they increase your benefits, okay, increase your salary so that you're going to work more, okay? And that will be the same thing. In terms of microeconomics, okay, interest rate goes up, okay, you have two effects. One is called, okay, it's gonna, work, if interest rate goes up, you're gonna consume less or consume more, okay? If you consume less, what does that mean? That is substitution effect. And if you consume more, that's called income effect. Basically, this is the same as this one, okay? Because price goes up, the price of labor goes up, you have two effects. The price of your consumption, okay, goes up. It has two effects, okay? Because interest rate goes up, it becomes more expensive now. If you're gonna, if you're gonna borrow money, okay, if you're gonna borrow money to consume, actually you have to pay more out of your pocket for interest. So what does that mean? Your consumption should go down. But if you are the lender, okay, if you are the lender, what does that mean? Interest rate goes up, you get more income, okay? So what do? You consume more. And again, I say this is for micro. For macro, the conclusion is, okay, for macro, the conclusion is interest rate goes up, consumption goes down. Interest rate goes down, consumption goes up, okay? What is this? This is similar to this one, right? Okay, we have law of demand, right? So price goes up, quantity demanded goes down, right? And price goes down, quantity demanded goes up, right? So this is from the law of demand, okay? Can anyone tell me, is there any exception to this? Let's take a break.